Tonight on Elon Local News.
With the election 70 days away, we'll tell you the latest numbers and developments in election 2012.
But first, Chick-fil-A serves up some controversy. Find out how Elon students are reacting.
And I'm Brian Wazerski. We'll take you inside the new home of Elon Local News right now.
Thanks for joining us.
Welcome back to Elon and welcome to our new show and new set.
This year, Elon Local News promises to be Elon's news leader,
bringing you the news you want to know on air and online.
Here's tonight's top story. As Elon students make their way to campus, questions surround the success of a popular fast food restaurant. Chick-fil-A is getting mixed reactions from students after the company's chief operating officer, Dan Cathy, released a statement regarding same-sex marriage. Jeff Ackerman joins us in the studio with tonight's top story. Jeff?
Yeah, there are 3 Chick-fil-A's in the area that Elon students can choose to go to, one of them conveniently in the Octagon Cafe here on campus. But after Dan Cathy openly discussed his opinions on marriage, the future of Elon's Chick-fil-A is in question. Crispy chicken and waffle fries aren't cutting it for some people anymore after this statement was released from Chick-fil-A Chief Operating Officer Dan Cathy.
I think we're inviting God's judgment on our nation when we shake our fist at him and say, you know, we know better than you as to what constitutes a marriage.
These words struck a chord for some students.
So the issue, I think, is more complex than just they don't support gay marriage.
Senior Lauren Clapp, part of Elon's LGBTQ group Spectrum, thinks people should boycott the restaurant, not necessarily because of what was said, but because of who the company donates money to.
Taking money and making financial donations to organizations that support ex-gay reparative therapy, so sending gay people to therapy to turn them straight.
For this reason, she thinks the university should remove the dining option from campus.
I think that it is kind of problematic that Chick-fil-A is on Elon's campus when Elon is making this very vocal commitment to diversity.
Some people say that Chick-fil-A's views come as no surprise. That's because the restaurant has always been open about its religious views. We're standing at a Chick-fil-A in Burlington right now on a Sunday, and as you can see, the restaurant is closed.
Part of freedom of religion and freedom of belief is to be able to disagree and still live together. And if you're going to stop somebody from doing business because you disagree with their beliefs, I'd almost consider that a form of discrimination.
You're still going to be eating there?
Yeah, I will.
SGA took a stance against Amendment 1, a North Carolina amendment that now defines marriage between a man and a woman in the state's constitution. President Darian Flowers told Elon Local News that they are looking forward to a conversation about the future of Chick-fil-A on Elon's campus.
This is an avenue that is really going to put, our liberal arts university to its test and say that these are the kind of discussions that we need to have.
SGA is not alone. President Lambert is also on the same page.
I look forward to the dialogues on campus. I'm intending to listen very carefully to them, and I think we're going to watch very carefully about what happens with sales at Chick-fil-A. And students can vote with their feet.
That was Jeff Ackerman reporting. School was out, but there was no summer break for the Elon construction team. The video we're showing you was once North area, and soon enough it will become the global neighborhood. The new facility will house 600 students, but that's not all. The International Center will also be located here, along with several language learning communities.
If you haven't made your way over to the new Senior Village at Mill Point, you'll find your first look here on Elon Local News. The station has 24 buildings and houses more than 300 students. Students living in the Senior Village have access to a swimming pool and exercise room.
A student organization finds a new home on campus. Elon Hillel will move into the old Truett Center this January. Study areas, a kitchen, offices, and a garden are expected to be added to the building. Hillel intern Julia Denick thinks more students will come with the new house.
This is just going to be a great opportunity to engage first-year students, possibly when they don't have a place like a common room or a kitchen, just somewhere where Jewish students can come together and hang out, a place to relax, and it's going to be just take Hillel up to the next level.
Elon alum and former reporter of this newscast, Nick Oxner, filed a lawsuit in April 2011 that will now appear in front of the North Carolina Supreme Court. Oxner filed the lawsuit after the university released only a portion of police reports about a student that was accused of underage drinking. The Court of Appeals ruling stated that police records of private universities are not held to public records law. Stay with us as this case progresses at ELONLocalNews.com.
Elon is taking a new spin on a law passed 40 years ago. I took a look at some of what Elon is doing today for equal opportunities for all genders.
Title IX, the landmark amendment that especially changed athletics for women, was signed into law 40 years ago by President Nixon. The amendment makes sure that no one is excluded from educational programs or activities receiving federal funding because of gender.
It sets everyone up in life to have equal opportunities for jobs and just living arrangements, opportunities.
Although most people commonly associate Title IX with athletics, there are 10 key areas in Title IX to make sure there are gender equal opportunities. And this year, Elon is concentrating on new programs dealing with sexual harassment.
It was really time for this, and it was an important institutional priority.
For the first time this fall, students can use the internet to make a report of sexual or bias harassment. They can fill out a form online and be anonymous, or choose to seek help after an incident.
We're really going to use that for this first year, to respond to people's needs and make sure that people understand the process and feel supported in whatever their process is, but also use the anonymous reporting or potential, just people talking about things that they've seen on campus or things that they understand or ways that they feel as a data set for us to begin to assess our efforts on campus.
Other efforts include a new crisis line for students to call in the event of harassment or bias and have someone who is trained respond to them immediately. A new assistant director position also began in June in the Office of Human Resources to monitor these situations campus-wide. And students say these programs through health promotion will be beneficial to Elon.
The fact that we do have this office available for students now, I feel like it could help a lot of students prevent similar situations.
It's really important as an athlete that they can provide those services to help them understand that everywhere you go, it can be a safe environment.
The campus organizers of Title IX that I talked to say that the mandates presented in Title IX are a civic responsibility to the community. It's important that students know all the provisions and make sure they are vocal to leaders when they see something that just doesn't match up to its policies and procedures. And if you'd like the link to the online harassment form, visit our website, ELONLocalNews.com.
We asked Vice President of Student Affairs Smith Jackson on his take of the new program.
We want you to be able to be yourself, but also to respect others, and not only respect others in your conduct and in your words, but also to be open to listening and learning from those differences.
Coming up after the break, one of our reporters was in Egypt this summer. She got reactions from the crowd on election night.
We'll get an update from Tampa, Florida, where the Republican National Convention started today.
Training for the Army requires time and dedication. Find out what athletic sport an Elon Sr. is balancing his time with. Stick with us.
Election Day is almost 2 months away, and we are your election headquarters.
We have a special section on our website, and in each show before November 6th, we will update you in the recent poll numbers.
The swing states will play a critical role in the race to the White House. As of now, Obama leads with 237 electoral votes, needing 33 more to win, while Romney holds 206 votes, needing 64 more to take over the White House. States in blue lean Democrat and states in red lean Republican, while yellow states could lean with either party. Although North Carolina tends to vote Republican, the numbers are shifting in favor of the Democrats. North Carolina will be a crucial state for both candidates to win the election.
A Washington Post and ABC News poll released today puts Mitt Romney ahead of President Obama, 47 to 46%. When voters were asked if they agree with the way Obama is handling the economy, 44% of voters approve, while 54% disapprove. According to a recently released Gallup poll, the candidate leading right before the first party convention typically won. In the last 15 elections, all but 3 have ended that way.
The Republican National Convention kicked off in Tampa, Florida today. Our Jack Miner is there and called in for an update.
I'm here at the Tampa Bay Convention Center where all the media is actually being held. This center is about a block away from the Tampa Bay Times Forum, where the convention is set to convene today at 2 p.m. to nominate Mitt Romney as president. The whole area is secure, a 2-mile radius around the convention center and the Tampa Bay Times Forum. Saturday night they actually closed down and kicked everyone out and did a sweep of the entire area and actually found a few interesting things. One of which was a large stockpile of bricks and metal pipes that a black anarchist group was sent to accuse against the media. There was also found at the Tropicana Field where last night the Tampa Bay Host Committee hosted a welcome event where there was 400 pounds of human feces actually found on the roof of the Tampa Bay Times Forum, assumed to be part of the Occupy movement as well. There's a few Occupy rallies set to go on today around Tampa. Another big news story was obviously was Hurricane Isaac rolling in. Tampa was not actually hit very hard, and today it's actually sunny. We don't really see many of the weather effects as Isaac continues to move west. The Republican National Committee announced Saturday that they would be canceling all the events for Monday and came out with a revised schedule yesterday, which includes Ann Romney actually speaking on Tuesday with Governor Chris Christie, which should be quite an event and a good way to start off. Tampa, Florida, I'm Jack Miner with Elon Local News.
Reading this.
A group of our staff will be in Charlotte, North Carolina next week to cover the Democratic National Convention. We have 2 of our reporters here, Jason Puckett and Nicole Chadwick. They join us in our studio. Jason, what kind of coverage will we look for in the upcoming months?
Well, Brian, we're heading down Sunday to actually, break ground in Charlotte, but already we know that a big portion of the stories are going to come from protesters. We know that a bunch have already signed up to be in the area to talk about the issues that they feel strongly about. We also know another big talking point is it's called Rock the Red, and it's basically Charlotte's Republican Party. They're hosting their own version of the convention, kind of, to have the Republicans in the area come and get together and talk about their side of the issues that's going on at the DNC. So obviously there are going to be a lot of stories. Those are just some of them.
And Nicole, what is the schedule looking like at the convention?
Well, we wanted to make sure that you and all of our viewers know that we're going to have 3 live shows next week, and we're also going to have some updates throughout the week on our website. And we also wanted to point out that we're going to have a show coming from Charlotte, and it's going to be produced in Charlotte, and then we'll put it up online for you all to watch. And please feel free to follow us on Facebook and Twitter throughout the week at facebook.com/ElonLocalNews and Twitter at ElonLocalNews. And as always on our website, ElonLocalNews.com.
Our next story comes from across the globe. Some of Elon Local News reporters spent the summer interning at places like 60 Minutes and NBC Nightly News. But our Rhonda Atala did things a little differently. She visited a country in turmoil and brought a camera along for the ride.
Egypt has become synonymous with the Arab Spring, but some citizens are not happy with what has come out of the past 18 months. Months after protests began, the Egyptian people finally chose their new president, and I was in the square when the voters heard the news.
We're now standing in We just got the election results and people are extremely happy about the results, about Mohamed Morsi winning the election.
يعني استكمالا للثورة لأن غير مرسي كانت هتبقى الثورة ماتت. يعني هو أحيا لنا الثورة صراحة يعني نجاح مرسي أحيا الثورة.
But for some Egyptians, the Muslim Brotherhood controlling Egypt isn't good.
أنا اسمي محمد ومسلم بس مش عايز الأخوة المسيحيين يتعاملوا معاملة مش كويسة. مش عايز الناس اللي عايشة براحتها تتضايق عليها. سمعنا إشاعات إن هيبقى في نقاب، هيبقى في خمار، هيبقى حاجات طبعا اللي هي الحاجات البديهية اللي هي ألف ب يعني الناس بتتكلم عليها لما هيبقى تيار إسلامي اللي هيمسك البلد.
So whether they voted for Morsi or not, the majority of Egyptian people are ready to see what he has to offer. Rhonda Atala, Elon Local News.
The class of 2016 is on campus, and we were there to capture the moments of orientation weekend. That video and more coming up.
While most freshmen spent the last 6 months preparing for college, this 18-year-old was making the finishing touches on a bigger project.